yourself is.
All right, hold up. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Mr. Mo.
I am J-Mo.
Hey, listen, our topic had already started. Then I looked over at my PC and seen that we were not recording. But I asked my son, what's the question I asked you?
You first asked me, what is this life about?
What is this life about? And his response was,
love others as you love yourself.
and then I said, see this recap? This is fast forward real time. Then I said, what if you don't know how to love yourself? And you said,
and I was getting to that part.
Okay, and now we're here. Hey, look, I told you I'm gonna catch you up. PC, stop wilding out before it get real over here. But
so knowing how to love others when you don't love yourself comes to understanding the definition of what love actually is.
oh, nah. See, I was hoping you go down this road. I was hoping you. I was praying. I was like, please go down, because it's like playing chess, and you know this person about to make the move, and you know you about to end the game. It's about to be over with. It's like being a sniper on the game, and you got somebody you like 100 yards off, and you picking him. He dead in your sight. But go ahead.
Yeah, once you go to what the actual definition of love.
What is the definition of love?
And as I said, love has multiple definitions. Love can be multiple things. I mean, if you want to go,
let's Google. Let's Google what love is, or the word love. Somebody gonna say love is a verb. I get it. Read what love is, Jay.
An intense feeling of deep affection. That's one. A great interest or pleasure in something. That's two.
Right.
That's the noun of love. And then the verb, which everyone says, is feel deep affection for, and then in parentheses, someone, or like or enjoy very much.
Right.
And some context for the like or enjoy very much. I just love dancing, or to feel deep affection for someone is he loved his sister dearly. A great interest or pleasure in something is his love for football. And
his love for
Fortnite, yep. And an intense an intense feeling of deep affection is also babies feel parents with feelings of love. So
I'm gonna go to a quote that Bishop Forrest Frank would say. Feelings never saved my life.
yeah. That's true.
So if this is solely, this sound like a bunch of feelings in the bottom.
Yeah, like a bunch of expressions.
Right. So, but they say love is a verb, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are a bunch of affections. These are a bunch of expressions of love. Different parts of love described by a feeling, right?
Yeah.
So, what does the Bible say? See, because it's look. We went to Google what love is. Now, what does the Bible say about love?
I mean, I can go to multiple scriptures in my head. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8 is love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy. It doesn't. I'm about to actually look up the actual.
Come on now.
Definition.
Get the views from content clues.
So, yeah, that's 1 Corinthians.
And you say this is your favorite verse, right?
Yes, it actually is.
So, if you could get a tattoo, this would be it, right?
Yes. This one.
Okay, too bad you're not getting one. So, we right along.
So, yeah. This is in the NIV version in 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. Honestly, the entire chapter of 1 Corinthians 13 is amazing.
If you go to his one of his clips on his YouTube, he runs that same thing like you just said. You literally, I think that's like your thing. Like, yeah, like you would say first, you start talking about love. Then you say, hey, first of all, the whole chapter.
Yes,
and the whole chapter is fire.
It is.
It
like,
is.
It's absolutely amazing, and especially like if you read it in the Passion translation.
Oh yeah,
I remember we did that. That was amazing.
It's tough.
And so it says, and just in 4 through 8, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. And if you keep reading with verse 8, it says, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away.
So I think the Bible's act of love shows pure servant.
Yeah.
Love is patience. I don't think that we're patient enough with ourselves. Love is kind. We're not kind enough even to ourselves. I love when the Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yeah. So if you do these practices towards yourself, which is practicing patience towards yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're an extreme perfectionist, right?
Yeah.
Give the people some context clue, because if I say it, it's like a chorus or something like that.
Like, I'm such a perfectionist about things that we'll be at work, and I like to make sure everything is done right. That's the perfectionist in me, and so whenever someone is doing something, then it often causes me to state the obvious of what's actually being done. It's like someone's about to do something, like, let's just say you got an instruction to put a lid on something, and the lid is right there. I'm gonna say, oh yeah, the lid's right there, you can just put it on. That's something that I'll do. And perfectionist also stops me from doing the things that I actually want to do, like creating content or
So how long did it take for me to set this up for you to just, hi people, we are creating content right now, but how long did it take for me to set this up and for us to start recording content?
Literally 10 minutes.
So if that's how much it takes to record content, what stops you from becoming a content? Being in content.
My own self, because I want everything to be like right in alignment, like right in. Well, now, yeah, like it's pretty much like alignment. That's what my perfectionist is. It's like I want everything to be completely perfect. Like I have the time to set aside.
But what happens when that doesn't happen? Nothing gets created.
Yeah, and that's what is the downfall, because if something does get like a wrench thrown in the plan, like I'll have a plan laid out, and if there's something that goes off of that plan, I'm like, oh well, forget the entire plan.
So if a wrench get throws in the plan, then why not use that tool? Why not use that tool to launch something? Because I'm a perfectionist too, but it may not look like it, because this is purely on the fly. As we're recording, I'm thinking to myself, okay, is this light dimmer? Is this? Like, I'm assessing. Like, I'm still looking over here to make sure PC is still running. We're good. We're still recording. And I'm still looking at like, oh man, our vocals could be just a little bit louder. And I could be tweaking and trying to make sure things are done over here. But a lot of times I'm getting out of the fear of being perfect, because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's something that literally doesn't exist. Name something you've done that you've done it perfect.
Nothing.
But you still did it, right?
Yeah. It's crazy because when I was little, I used to think about this. Like, they used to say, draw the perfect circle. and you would draw, like it would be super straight and everything, but if you like, I always thought about if you like did like a microscope, like there's gonna be some type of squiggle. Even
And I blame the teachers because they would say, "Oh, that's good." Oh, look at that circle! Oh my gosh!
it'd be
They'll never tell you that. Hey, you went to the left just a little bit.
Yeah. And even if you did use like a ruler to use like a straight line, you would mess it up sometimes. And even if you didn't like kept it straight the entire time, there'd still be that little bit of like
It's gonna always be something.
yeah, it's gonna always be something.
Like after this podcast, I'm gonna be on Amazon looking for some boom mics that are lower now instead of higher. Because right now I just got upset that these things are just hanging and they're just all in my face, and I don't like that. But that shows my thought on what being perfect is. But somebody could listen to this, watch this, and be like, you know something, he right.
Yeah. I
struggle in that too. So what am I being perfect for? Because I want to break something off of you, which was on me. And it's such a family trait. Such a huge, I know in our family, it's a huge family trait. If it's not perfect, we won't do it.
Yeah. That's right. It's like, well, just and that's what causes like plans. Like if I have plans to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then something gets thrown off, I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm not gonna do it then. So
I'm breaking this generational thing, man. I don't want to call it a curse. I'll just say it's a habit that we do. Just like I'm a stickler for planning out my day. And you know my saying. What's my saying about planning?
If you don't plan, you plan to fail.
You plan to fail every time. And like my struggle now is people who don't plan and then get upset because they didn't plan. Mm-hmm. Now you frustrated, you upset, you like, and for me, it's like, if you'd have just planned this a day before, like right now, my clothes for the whole week is set out.
Yeah.
I don't like going and ripping ripping the room apart just to find an outfit. I know exactly what I'm gonna wear Sunday. Like it's first Sunday, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm gonna wear.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not saying put out a perfect plan.
Put out a plan.
Put out something.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be like Jesus was perfect. He did that already.
Yeah.
Like that's just one thing. like there is no, that's just what it is. You ever notice he said Christ like?
You will never be him.
So the thing is that, and I love that this is going to be the space where, that's why it's called the Over Podcast. Some things you may have to do over. Some things like you may have to remake, but it's okay in starting over. Matter of fact, don't even think of it as starting over. Just think of starting something new and doing something different. Because if you do the same thing expecting a different change, you're insanity.
Yep.
Right? So I guess it goes back to our question. What is this life about? Because to you, it's about perfection.
Well, I would say this life is about you can say so many different things. Like I could say it's about grace. It's just based off what we talked about, because that's what I got from what we talked about. It's giving ourselves grace whenever we don't, whenever we don't make the mark. And it could also be just about serving, because to have each characteristic of love, a servant has to have those type of characteristics. They have to be patient. They have to be kind. And then you have to also just not be so hard on yourself. And I actually do like verse 7 when it talks about.
But before you go there, I noticed you dropped your head when you said you gotta stop being so hard on yourself. Oh, you thought this was gonna be that kind of stuff? I'm literally just gonna let you just speed bump over stuff. No, that sounds like something that you're dealing with. Right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely something I'm doing. Because I really just watched a video today, and I was watching. It was Romans 7, 14 through 25, when Paul was talking about oh wretched man that I am.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I did get from there is that you will never be, I forget because I had typed it down. But what Paul was saying is, I want to do the things that I don't want to do, things that I want to do, I don't want to do, and everything like that. And so,
bring it up.
Okay.
Got a whole Bible right there. Fumbling over it. I think he said he wanted to do something, but he didn't want to do it. But then he wanted to do it, but then he was just like, I just don't want to do it.
14, Romans 7:14. Yep, Romans 7:14 through 25. It says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am of the flesh, sold under sin. For I do not..."
Stop right there. And I think that's where we get it twisted. He's like, he literally, he started spitting bars in the beginning. You know how sometimes people wait to spit bars and they wait for the punchline. The punchline was actually in the beginning. What'd he say?
For we know that the law is spiritual, but
right. Let's stop right there. Like, we know that the law is spiritual. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against what?
The principalities and powers of the spirit.
Yeah, it's all spiritual. Go ahead.
But I am of the flesh, sold under sin. For I do not understand my own actions. For I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. Now, if
Let's stop right there. See, you just trying to read, boy. How often do we do the things that we hate?
All the time.
Pure sin. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Pure sin.
Yeah, and that's what.
But then again, you gotta ask yourself. You gotta ask yourself. Do you really hate it? I'm just saying. Do you really hate it?
And this was the point, because before, when you were, I feel like as a believer, yes, you do hate it because it displeases God. But before, you were...
What stage are you at, though? To me, I believe it's different stages. Mom talks about, you never just really just backslide. Like, it's like a slow turn. It's like very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very subtle. Like when you go back to what you used to do, it's very subtle. It's nothing that you just be like, it's something that is subtle.
Yeah.
And then you look up, you find it, and then like you find yourself in this place. And then you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
And it's only when it get real bad. But in the beginning, let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. In the beginning, when we first do it, it's like, oh man, nothing happened. See, we go off the nothing happened then.
Yeah.
We don't never think about the consequences later, but nothing happened right then and there. So it's like, oh, I'm cool, shoot. Ain't no hell break open. God ain't snatched me and threw me through the wall. So you gotta ask yourself. Because, and I love Jesus because he was tempted in every way. I love it. And he did nothing but throw scripture back. His comeback was, so it is written. Oh my gosh, what? So it is written, my boy. Won't you do X, Y, Z, and this? So it is written. It's the so it is written for me. But what I'm saying is, how much of it do we truly hate? We know God hates it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know God hates it. Yeah. I think, Mom was just talking about this. And, Mom was just talking about this. If you premeditate your sin, if your sin is premeditated like a murder, then maybe you don't hate it.
Yeah.
Maybe you have literally, as you know how people like, well, he died because of his injuries. Maybe you have really come to the grips of you love sin. See, because Paul is speaking from a place of wanting and needing change. It's two differences. When I want change, I might stop. But if I need change, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to stop.
Yeah.
So you gotta ask yourself. This is a great I love the slow. Like lately, I've been slow crawling scriptures. Cause we'll just read some love is patient. Like, ho, love is patient. You love is fast right now. But I want you to get the whole context of what Paul is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel his heart on this. This is not a man who's waking up every day to do something that he hates. But he's just like, oh, Richard.
Yeah.
Speak from it. You're a wretched man.
Yeah. So like it's that, and that's always, and I think I liked, because if you read it a little bit further,
Mm-hmm.
he talks about because people will think that in this part, I'm trying to find it. Good dogs. Oh yeah. So it's verse 17. He says, So now it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells within me.
Mm-hmm. This is pure confession right here.
Yeah.
You gotta say, you gotta think, are you real with yourself to say? Like how many people stand before somebody like, man, I'm just a sinner. I got a sinful nature. I struggle in corn. I struggle in just stealing, lying.
Yeah.
I got a bad attitude all the time. Sometimes I feel like choking somebody today. Who's gonna admit that?
Not too many people.
So let me ask you, would you admit that? Uh-oh. Indeed. It's the over podcast. Get over your sins to be made new. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm sure. And corn.
And I think you're gonna that. But we are here. That's huge. I just want you to know. You just told people that you struggle in corn.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it eventually. It's gonna.
What you gonna do? You gonna close out? Hey, my name is J Mo, and I struggle with corn.
Yeah, see,
yeah, that's what you gonna do. Wow.
Nah. So like that's like my whole testimony is from that, because I struggle with that and still struggle with it from when I was like 8, I believe.
Well, the enemy definitely tries to get us where we're young. Most tragedies happen at a very young age.
Yeah.
Very young age. Pay attention. But you don't have to tell your testimony. We're going to get to that testimony. bring you on here to talk about it because I too struggled in corn for a very long time. I struggled in it so bad to the point where I wanted to be in corn. So I found out that, listen, it's a lot of diseases that go on in corn. But it's a lot of diseases outside of corn too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
And I love, like, I've been over corn for about a good 11 years now. 11 years. Drinking, smoking, a lot of the stuff a lot of my demons that I used to literally battle. I'm not saying I'm perfect either. I'm not saying don't get that. I just told you earlier that perfection does not exist. It's just pure efforts and trying. Everything is built with error, trial and error. There's nothing that was just made, well, besides on the when God did what he did. He made no mistakes. That's obvious because we still here ticking.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that everything comes with trial and error. Everything. There's nothing on this earth that is man-made. Gotta put that out there. That somebody did right the first time.
Yeah, no.
So my question would be, why are we striving to be perfect for something that we would never achieve? Oh, that's to you.
That's to me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
I'm talking to the fish over here. You over there glue.
Trying to think. Wow. I mean, I know for me personally,
That's why that's the only way you can speak. You can't speak for me. You can speak for you. Why do you feel like you have to be such this person?
because it doesn't feel, I would say it doesn't feel right a lot of times if it's not
Perfect.
well, not like that, because like if it doesn't come at least close to it.
Perfect.
Like, you know how like
I'm trying to figure this out for you.
so like trying to think of a good example.
Like, what's close to perfect? Let me ask you this.
Like, you know how in like when people are making like a movie and you can pretty much make it however you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the ending that you want, it has the middle, you can put any characters you want in it, you can have this, like, that's like that idea of, and it's also just like a selfish thing. It's also because like wanting everything to go your way and not just accepting things for how they are.
Okay, so let's go back to the movie scheme because we're done with the movie scheme. Being from a person who's been on a movie set, I know, superstar. They don't get that scene right the first time.
Yeah.
Do you know how many hours? Google. I'm glad Google's here. Google your favorite movie. How long did it take to shoot this movie? And it's going to determine that perfection or even close to perfection takes time.
So my favorite movie is Avengers Endgame.
Okay. First of all, fire movie. Fire. Like fire. Go ahead.
Yep. And so it was filmed from August 10th, 2017 to January 11th, 2018, with additional filming in January 2019.
So does that sound like a perfect film?
Nah.
That sounds like it took some time, effort.
Yeah. It says Avengers Endgame was shot back to back with Avengers Infinity War at Pinewood Atlanta Studios. The two films were edited.
Y'all was in Atlanta. Y'all should have called me.
The two films were edited by Jeffrey Ford and Matthew Schmidt, who spent 2 years editing the 900 hours of shot footage. 900 hours of shot footage.
You just stop right there. You're like you just stop right there. You can just drop the mic, walk off. Ladies and gentlemen, perfection does not exist, so stop trying to achieve it. My thing as far as what life is about, life is purely about efforts. You ever hear the saying that life is whatever you put in is what you get out?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. If you put half tail stuff in there, don't get mad when you get half tail return.
Yeah.
So if you're not giving 100% and you're only giving 40%, do you think you're gonna get 100% back? It's not how it works. If you work out twice a year and you say, I'm getting gains, how is that? You tell me. You have to tell me. If you're getting gains and you're only working out twice a year, what's your results within that year? I'm going to say zilch. You might want to take those 2 times you worked out off. You might want to just go in there and drop it down to 0.
Yeah.
Because whatever you did that day, 9 times out of 10, you ate and killed your workout. But I digress. So I love these type of topics. We are getting into the content space more and more heavy now. I know myself, I can only speak for myself. I feel a pull within the content area. That's why you have the Over podcast, and then you're gonna have the Mo and Tiff podcast, and then we're gonna have the gaming stuff going on. So, being that I don't believe in perfection. Oh, okay. Let us address this before we go off. What is your thoughts on procrastination? Takes a deep breath in for that one.
I know what I initially believed is that procrastination was something.
All right, I'm back on. What's your thoughts on procrastination?
So I know what I initially thought of procrastination was just, you easily get distracted from a task that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That you're supposed to be doing, like the main task that you're supposed to be doing. But then I remember you had taught me what it actually is. And it's really, you just don't want to do it.
Nah, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, that specific task that is very important, you just don't want to do it. And so to make it less of a hit to us, we say procrastination. Well, it's out of our control.
And the crazy part, it sounds like a prestige word to me. It sounds so important. When it's such it's the opposite of important.
Yeah.
You didn't say, oh, what if we really start saying, well, I was just lazy today, I didn't want to do it. Doesn't sound good. But you say, oh man, I just procrastinated. I'm like, sounds intelligent.
It's like the ultimate excuse.
You know what I'm saying? Which is a lie. Let me take it a step further. The Bible speaks about laziness, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I wonder why I say emojis making up stuff. Whatever. But the Bible speaks about laziness. And the folding of hand leads to what?
trying to think if this one.
You know it's in Proverbs because it's giving nothing,
Yeah.
but it's dropping nothing but wisdom.
Yep.
I want to sum it up either. I want it word for word because that's why I'm not saying it.
Okay. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of a diligent shall be made rich.
Oh.
Let me go to actual.
So procrastination would be a sin, wouldn't it? Procrastination is attached to poor. Oh gosh.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get different versions. Yep, the soul of the sluggard. Yeah, that's a more intense word. The soul of the sluggard.
Yeah, I don't recall what it is, right? I'm not a slugger, I'm a procrastinator. Like you a slugger.
Oh goodness.
Get some t-shirts made. You a slugger. It's not procrastination. You a slugger, my boy. Or my girl.
The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied.
And I always tell my son, like, he's way smarter than me. And then I always follow up with, but are you? Snap. But are you? A few times I was like, Jay, you know you smart. He was like, yeah. So I just let him have it, y'all. I was like, yeah, okay. This dude really think he's smarter than me. He hasn't even been on this earth that long, but he's smarter than me. So I came out and said, man, Jay, you know you're smarter than me. He was like, yeah. Walked away. See me, I love chess is my favorite game, people. Chess is one of my favorite games. So I came back for the third round. I said, Jay, you're smarter than me. He said, Then I said, but are you? The smartest person in the room would never say, hey guys, I'm the smartest. Never admit that they're smarter. Most smart people are people who watch other people.
They're observers.
Like, people watchers, I believe, are some of the most genius people. Because before you can, like, I love those movies where it sounds crazy, but it's pure genius to me. When the guy's like, he drinks the coffee at 5. Gets up, go gets this at 6. Like, he literally break down the time. I mean, it's creepy because, it's kind of stalkerish. Yeah. But I'm talking about investigation type stuff, not stalker stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez. Get out your head.
They will do that if they need to.
Most FBI people.
Yeah, they'll do that if they need to know your routine. And they'll do it for like a good.
Here's the funny thing. It's easy to get somebody's routine. Because we're creatures of habit. Like we have to do X, Y, Z. This. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm so random sometimes I fake myself out.
People be asking me where he is. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, I'm random. Man.
Like, you could be here, you could be there.
I have a random list in my head that pops up. Like, and you've been with me.
Yeah.
A lot. I'll drive somewhere like, I don't want to go here no more. And I just pull off. Like,
we'll sit there in the car for so long and then just pull out.
Pull out, right?
Like, what?
All right. Cool. Because you will never be able to figure out what I did. Sometimes I don't know what I did. You know what I'm saying? But I have a plan for the most part. I have a plan to execute. I'm a high executor. So, to close this out, J-Mo, that's what you're going by now?
Yep.
What's your new name?
Yep. J-Mo.
You think you ready to handle that?
What I used to always say, ready as I ever be.
I'm saying. Ready as I will be, like, I mean that you geared up for it.
Oh yeah, I'm geared up for it.
All right, let's pop. Say okay. Well, this has been today's podcast, man. We just wanted to drop in and let y'all know that, listen, first of all, perfection does not exist. Life is truly about what you made it. And then also, life is not even about you. You're a bridge so that people can cross over to the other side. Anything you want to leave with the people?
I did like what you said about life is about the effort. So it's and if we want to go just biblical, that's what God loves. It's just your effort to he can take someone who's willing to try than someone who just says forget it all.
Because he can. Oh, okay, I hear you. Let me give you some Bible context. Excuse me. You're just making that up. This sounds good. Faith without works. Faith is works. That's all it is. Where because I know people like, well, you ain't getting no Bible. Like, listen, faith without works. It's dead.
Yeah.
That says it all. Like, he just wants effort. He just wants work. He's like, I can breathe on it if you continue to walk. But we'll be like, well, I don't have a 60-inch TV to watch myself while I'm talking on podcast. Shut your... We have every excuse of what not to do.
And if you actually say the excuses out loud,
You're forming that. Uh-oh.
And then you can, if you actually just...
I thought we was ending this, but it's not.
I was gonna say, if you actually because I've done that before, and it actually does help sometimes. Like if you actually sit, because whenever you're quiet and you're in your mind, that's when your mind can start to wander and start making up these excuses in your head. But if you just start saying that won't happen, like you like, I don't have a 16-inch screen. Well, do you need a 16-inch screen?
Do you need it? First of all, you ain't got no mics. Oh, boy. Get your dumb phone.
Like when you start actually sitting there and actually saying, well, you actually don't need this, like actually saying it like that, then it actually helped with a lot of your making up excuses.
I would say write all your excuses. Like when you say them, write them down and then look at them and see how foolish it sounds.
Exactly. You'll be like, that's dumb. What is that?
Because I've talked to people and I was like, hey, y'all want to do this? Oh, yeah, sounds good. I'm like, all right, we need this. I ain't got that. So we just end up not doing it.
Yeah.
Because of the excuse of I don't have. But then I'm like, okay, well, then let me show you what you need to do to get it. Oh, okay. Ask me, did they do it? No. They didn't.
And then also excuses can be what you think of what you're perceiving others will say about you. That's another thing that
I think excuses also your inabilities of what you think that you can't do. A lot of times, just say you're scared. Just say you're scared. I'm scared to be podcasts. It's a lot of stress. Oh, what you gotta do? You gotta talk. You have to edit it. Didn't you post something on Instagram? Yeah, I did. Did you like it? But what I'm saying, these are excuses, man.
Yeah.
I loved when Dad said excuses a polished lie. Like, you're just shining that thing up. As what the Rock say? You're just shining it up real good. I'm going to give you the perfect excuse. So that's just what it is. It's not that you can't do it. If you put forth the effort, I would say if you can't do 100% of it, at least try to do 50.
Yeah. They always say shoot for the Moon, Land Amongst the Stars.
That's my stuff. Yes, they do. You know what I'm saying? Golly. Quote said by Les Brown. I don't know if anybody else said it, but I got it from Les Brown. He said that. And that's what I've trained myself to do it. If you want to know how to get over your excuses, Nike has something that says just even Nike's with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They just took what the Bible said: faith without works is dead. Just do it.
They did.
Just do it. Like it's such a, the crazy part, people have those shoes on and just not doing nothing. I think that's the worst thing. Look, if you got Nikes on, this is a different podcast. If you have Nikes on and it says just doing it or just do it and you're not doing it, take them off. Actually burn them or give them away. Give them away to somebody who's doing them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God. But I'm saying, like, these excuses, like, my son, this is the dean of excuses, right? Like, this dude will come up and I'm like, son, that's not, or me and my wife be like, nah, that's not, because we don't want him to feel like his excuse is validated. It's an excuse and it may be valid, but who says that? Think about a lot of the people who are out here doing stuff with less.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Beast didn't start off with Mr. Beast. Go back to his first video. Kai.
They started doing it.
Like,
literally
doing it. Just like my son had a conversation. It was like, Dad, you know, like, can you just do this? Can you give me this? I said, and I had to ask him. I said, what does life really mean to you? Like, what is life to you? What is it about? And then he started struggling. I said, okay, let me give you a better setting to talk. So that's why we're here helping y'all. We helping him to help y'all. And I'm, you know, I got a lot of experience in excuses. That's why I'm able to speak to this. I don't give myself excuses anymore. And I don't even got Nikes on. As we close out for the second time, don't say nothing else, because you know me, I fire off. No problem firing off. Anything else you want to say to these people as we close?
That's it. I'm not gonna say anything else because we can go down the entire rabbit hole.
Excuse, listen. We make no excuses for the things we have. For the things we have here, God has provided, and we are thankful.
Mm-hmm.
See? Simple. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. Like we always say around about this time, keep God first, and the rest will be added. And remember, it's all for the love of your soul.